Oh man, Bitcoin is failing. The ETF was a failure. Many people messaging to say what is going on. In this video, I'm going to break down why is it that Bitcoin is crashing. How is it that Bitcoin post an ETF dropped 7.7% yesterday and in the red today? What does this mean? How low can we go? What else is going on with the altcoin market cap? I'm going to bring you up to speed and a lot more. If you appreciate these updates, even on a Saturday on the weekend here, smash up likes. Do not forget to subscribe if you're not in our Telegram community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. What are you doing? I'm taking some incredible trades and sharing which altcoins I'm looking at and sharing my TA analysis as well. Make sure you jump into our Telegram group. You can see here, Bitcoin after the ETF decision here on Thursday, getting a crazy wick down from close to 49,000, dropping down here yesterday, then finishing its collapse down as low as 41.4. A powerful pullback here on Bitcoin. But when you look at things with a sober eye and you look at it, we're still riding above our EMA ribbon. Now, of course, loads of people are coming out making noise about, oh, was this ETF a failure? We told you it's going to be a failure, all this. There's a lot of factors at play. And it's important we understand what is that concoction of factors which are leading to Bitcoin tumbling right now. I'm going to do my best to try help you understand what is going on. Now, the first and most obvious thing we need to understand is that Gary Gensler did not give us the launch of the ETF the way we wanted it, right? You had your hoax the day before the announcement where already so many people got liquidated. That prevented any impressive pump to the upside. We then had on the actual day of launch, they kind of put this website up and then took the website down and put it back up again. That also, messed up traders and stopped us pushing beyond 50,000 on that night. I really think there's a big possibility if those two events didn't happen, we could have pushed above 50,000. Had a really good short squeeze going here on Bitcoin. So that was the initial kind of factor that led here to us falling to the downside. But then it gets more important than that. We have to understand there's a few dynamics, and the first one I want to share with you is, of course, the GBTC, right? So the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has seen outflows, and these redemptions could be causing some of it because they have to sell that on the open market. If you're not following me on Twitter, I've shared this post right here. Why is Bitcoin crashing? People are selling GBTC shares due to the high management fee because they can now go into spot ETF at 0.25%. This is causing Grayscale to liquidate its BTC holdings. Soon, those who are redeeming will, in most likeliness, buy other spot ETFs with a low management fee. So there could be this delay effect where we're getting a bunch of selling right now because people are getting out of GBTC, but they could be looking to buy in for a Fidelity or BlackRock ETF further down the line. So maybe it's not too bad. It's just short-term bit of selling. That's one factor, but it's a bit more complicated than that, right? The other factor we clearly have is the speculators, the long-term holders who are only in Bitcoin up until this point to trade this Bitcoin narrative. This was the worst kept secret that we were going to get a Bitcoin spot ETF in January, right? Everybody and their grad knew about this. And so lots of people, even those not experiencing crypto, just speculators, were buying a bunch of Bitcoin, waiting in anticipation to see how high could this pump. Now, post that event, you naturally get what is called buy the rumor and you sell the news. So we're seeing that sell the news pattern start to play out. So you've got to ladder that on top as well. But it's not as easy as that even. There's another bit of ingredient which we need to take into consideration. And that is the fact that we got bad CPI data on Friday as well. So please do not forget, there's also that factor as well involved in that we had bad traditional finance macroeconomic data to add to it. Okay, so you're seeing kind of wobbly start to the year here on the traditional markets. We had bad CPI, and that worries the markets about when could we see a rate cut, because markets are hoping for at least 3 rate cuts this year. So that's another thing. There's one more. We also had Vanguard come out. Vanguard, one of the biggest ETF providers in the US, come out and says, we're going to pull Bitcoin futures from its platform. So not only are they not going to support the Bitcoin spot ETF, they're going to pull the futures ETF from the platform as well. And this is upsetting markets as well. Of course, this is one of the biggest providers, and it's kind of getting people going, hang on, what's going on here? Why are people not accepting this Bitcoin spot ETF? Is it not what we thought it was? And everyone's kind of panicking. So you're getting this natural, kind of self-fulfilling prophecy in that people are starting to sell, getting a little bit worried here and a little bit anxious. And you're seeing that in the fear and greed index as well. This has dropped from around 76, which was extreme fear, to now 64, which is, still greed. And I think that's important to understand is, look, even when we are where we are, this is still a greedy market, right? I know we're having a little bit of a crash yesterday, but this is a crazy greedy market. We are riding above this daily EMA ribbon for quite a while now. And if until we lose it, it's still a crazy daily upward trend. I mean, this has been an upward trend ever since we reclaimed it on the 16th of October. So the rest of October, November, December, and now half of January, we've just stayed above our EMA ribbon. Very, very impressive move here on Bitcoin. But was that all ETF driven? Will we now lose our daily EMA ribbon and pull back a little bit more? I'm going to show you the TA of where I think this could pull back and how I'm going to action that. Now, of course, if you want to actively trade with me, I am actively trading the market. You guys know I DCA and do my investment portfolios. I'll explain what I'm doing there. But I also actively trade, right? I took over 30% profit on Arbitrum. I took over another 30% on Optimism. We traded that over the last couple of days. I took 40% spot. This is spot. I don't short the market. I don't do leverage. I keep it simple. I just do spot trading. I've done 40% on Pendle as well. So if you want a heads up the next time I'm working on an altcoin or I'm looking at certain altcoins or doing some analysis, you're going to want to be in our Telegram group because you won't see those in these videos. So link in the description, jump into that free Telegram group and speak to like-minded people as well. Let's come back to this Vanguard issue. A lot of people making this a really big issue. It doesn't need to be a big issue. You have to understand the history of Vanguard. Vanguard, as a company, as a philosophy from its founder, Jack Bogle, at the time when they launched Vanguard, was supposed to be the safe place to invest. Right? If you invest in a Vanguard, in Vanguard, the whole premise of that company was to train people to be financially literate and to get them to be safe and pragmatic. The whole point was you would not be buying crazy options trading. You would not be trading the Russell 2000 or any risky stocks. You're just going to be buying the ETF and sitting on it for many, many years, hoping that one day you become a millionaire, right? On compounding. That's what the whole principle of Vanguard was if you go and study it. So there's no surprise and should be no surprise here that they are not pro-crypto. It does not fit with their brand. When everybody and their mother is going after a Bitcoin spot ETF, 11 applications approved. Vanguard are being smart. Think about it from a business perspective. They're just saying we're just going to brand ourselves the other way. We can't follow the pack with 11. Their whole identity is to be contrarian in their thinking. They want to be the opposite. So don't make this a bigger issue than it needs to be. This is not, a revolt against crypto and, even though Gary Gensler's approved it, nobody wants it. Oh my God, what are we going to do? Nah, that's all cap. Forget all that. This is them being smart from a business perspective. Say, hang on, everybody's already got a front run on us. BlackRock's got a front run, Wisdom Tree, ARK, Bitwise, Fidelity. Why are we just going to go and play the Bitcoin spot ETF game? Let's pull back. Let's be the rebel that says, no, we're against crypto. That's too risky. Let them do that. That's actually smart branding. But don't make it a bigger deal than it needs to be. We'll park that to the side and we won't be too stressed about that. Let's take a look at altcoins here in the market. Kind of really bleeding right now. But remember, these are the moments I like looking for entries. I don't buy entries when the market's 10% up. On these days where it's a little bit fearful, but still not crazy fearful. We're still in an upwards trend like I just showed you here on Bitcoin. I like looking for areas of support. And this is exactly what I mean about buying at support. Right now on Bitcoin, to get these entries deep into the EMA ribbon, I like this. I like nibbling here for my long-term bags. These are great areas to buy. Now, if we lose our daily EMA ribbon, then we're set for a deeper pullback. And that's when I notch the time frame up to the weekly time frame. And this is where you start to understand where we're at. And if you zoom out, what are we worried about? Look at this chart here. Right? On this week here, when we went back into the mid of October, we overtook our weekly EMA ribbon and off we went. Off we went. And we've not consolidated anywhere near. If this even wants to pull back here to 36.7, it's perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It can bounce here, boom, keep a higher low and keep working its way upwards. That's not an issue whatsoever. So for me, if I see any lower price points as it heads towards this, I'll start nibbling. But if we touch that EMA ribbon here on the weekly, if we get to those kind of 37 marks, I'm buying a lot heavier. Why? Because the Bitcoin I'm buying today is not the same as the Bitcoin I was buying just 5-6 days ago pre the ETF. This is a different asset class with different flows of money coming in. You are seeing record inflows, right? For those who are saying, oh, you're not seeing inflows, you are seeing inflows on a lot of the major Bitcoin spot ETFs. Now, naturally, you are getting a sell the rumor event, buy the rumor, sell the news event. Let that play out. Let those people sell. Like I always said before the ETF even was announced, I said I expected this. I expected a sell-off post the ETF, even for a couple of days, a couple of weeks. It's no issue for me. I'll look to buy the dip because I know longer term, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 1 year, the effect of the Bitcoin spot ETF on this, which is the total market cap, is that this will go up over time. If you look at the total market cap we're sitting on right now, 1.63 trillion. Right? People are crying because it just wicked down here from 1.8. But the bigger story is the ETF. Do you overall think that the ETF is going to lead this number to go down? Or do you think it's going to lead this number to go up? I think rationally, it's going to lead it to go up. And if we hit 3 trillion in the last cycle without ETFs, without the average Joe being able to jump onto their app and be able to buy exposure to Bitcoin at the same time they're doing gold and S&P and all the other things they're investing in, without needing MetaMask wallets and all this stuff and getting onto a Trezor and a Ledger and all this stuff, stuff. They could just do it through their wealth advisor. It's going to be huge. And so for me, I couldn't care less what it wants to do in the small picture here. I zoom out, I look at it, I go, we're heading in this direction. That's my personal conviction. So there you have it, guys. There's a reason why Bitcoin is crashing here in the market. And like I said, I'm actively trading. If you want to join us, ijazcrypto.com/TG. Have a great weekend wherever you guys are, and I'll see you in the next one.